Some stories don't begin with fireworks or grand entrances. They begin with scraped knees, paper airplanes, and the laughter of two kids who never imagined how deeply they'd someday miss those simple afternoons. This is one of those stories. Ethan met Clara when he was 8 years old. She had 2 braids, a shy smile, and a habit of carrying her sketchbook everywhere she went. Ethan was the kind of boy who found trouble faster than he found his homework. And yet, from the very first day they sat next to each other in class, something soft and unspoken began between them. They grew up in the same small neighborhood, the kind of place where everyone knew everyone, where summers meant melted ice cream, late-night bike rides, and promises whispered under the stars. Ethan and Clara became inseparable. If one was seen without the other, people would ask, "Where's your shadow?" Every afternoon, they met by the old oak tree behind their school. That was their place. She would draw the clouds while he threw rocks at them, pretending to be a hero saving the world. When she got quiet, he'd tease her until she laughed, and every time she laughed, his world felt brighter. As the years passed, something changed. Something so delicate it scared them both to admit it. The laughter stayed, but their glances grew longer, their silences deeper. Ethan started to notice the way Clara's hair caught the sunlight, and Clara noticed the way Ethan's voice had deepened, steadier now, less boyish. When they turned 16, Ethan realized he was in love. It wasn't sudden. It was like waking up one day and realizing the air you've been breathing all your life is the reason you're still alive. He never told her, though. How could he? She was his best friend. He couldn't risk losing her. But life has a cruel way of testing the things we take for granted. The summer after graduation, Clara's family decided to move to another city. The news broke Ethan like nothing ever had. They stood under the oak tree for the last time, the same one that had witnessed every laugh, every secret, every piece of their childhood. "I'll write to you," Clara said, her voice trembling. Ethan nodded, but his throat was too tight for words. He wanted to tell her he loved her, that no distance could change that. But fear held him back. So instead, he just said, "Don't forget me." She smiled sadly. Never. And then she was gone. For years, Ethan carried her memory like a quiet ache. He went to college, found a job, learned how to smile again. But something always felt missing. Every now and then, he'd pull out the old notes she left him. Small doodles, funny jokes, and once a page that read, "Promise me we'll always find each other, no matter what." He kept that page in his wallet. Years went by. The boy who once believed in fairy tales became a man who understood that love sometimes means waiting, even when you don't know what you're waiting for. Then, one spring afternoon, fate decided it was time. Ethan returned to his hometown for his cousin's wedding. He wandered through the streets of his childhood, memories flooding every corner. Out of habit, he walked to the park to the old oak tree. And there she was, Clara. Older, yes, but still her. Her hair was shorter now, her eyes wiser, but when she smiled, Ethan felt that same warmth from years ago. She turned, and for a moment, they both froze, the air heavy with everything they never said. "I thought you moved forever," he sighed softly. "I thought I did too," she whispered. "But I missed home. I missed us." They sat under the oak tree again, just like before. The silence between them wasn't awkward anymore. It was full of memories, of time lost, and of love rediscovered. "I kept your promise," Ethan finally said, pulling out the old note from his wallet. Her eyes filled with tears. "You remembered." "I never stopped." The world seemed to fade around them. The laughter of children in the distance, the rustle of leaves, the scent of spring. Everything felt like a rewind to the moment they first met. Ethan reached for her hand, and for the first time, there was no hesitation, no fear, just two people who had finally found their way back to where they belonged. Clara smiled through her tears. "Do you think it's possible to fall in love with the same person twice?" He chuckled softly. "I never stopped falling." As the sun dipped behind the horizon, they sat under that same oak tree not as kids chasing dreams, but as two souls who had found what time could never steal. Some loves don't burn out, they wait quietly, patiently, for the right moment to bloom again. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to subscribe to Heart Talk Stories, where every story speaks to the soul.